Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahabhirjam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Can you all hear me? Okay. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. So let us chant 2.4. Yeah, Bhagya, go ahead. Is your microphone?
I don't know. Is it okay?
So far, yeah, we'll try that.
Okay.
So 2.4. Etesham panchatattvanam madhye.
Can you repeat again, Jakumarji?
Yeah. Etesham panchatattvanam madhye.
Etesham panchatattvanam madhye
Akashasya satvikamshat
satvikamshat
Shrotrendriyam
Shrotrendriyam sambhutam
Vayoho satvikamshat
Vayoho satvikamshat
Tvagindriyam sambhutam.
Tvagindriyam sambhutam.
So are you able to, is everybody able to hear me? It's a bit noisy, is it not?
Yeah, quite a bit of noise.
Okay. So maybe Bhagya, next time if you can use a microphone or something, your headphone or something, you can experiment. So for now, go ahead and mute yourself.
Okay.
And then we will. Yeah, go ahead, Ashutosh. Agnehe satvikamshat.
Agnehe satvikamshat
Chakshurindriyam sambhutam.
Chakshurindriyam sambhutam
Jalasya Sattvikamshat.
Jalasya Sattvikankshat.
Rasanendriyam Sambhutam.
Rasinendriyam Sambhutam.
Prithivyaha Sattvikamshat.
Prithviyaha Sattvikankshat.
Ghanendriyam Sambhutam.
Ghanendriyam Sambhutam.
Etesham
Etesham
Panchatattvanam
Panchatattvanam
Samashti Sattvikamshat.
Samashti Sattvikankshat.
Manobuddhi
Mano Buddhi
Ahankara Chitta
Ahankara Chitta
Antahkaranani
Antahkaranani
Sambhutani.
Sambhutani.
Okay. So remain unmuted. Couple of you maybe hearing Prasad. So we saw that we were looking at this last time. We concluded in this Srishti Charaha, we finished what is called Sukshma Bhuta Srishti, subtle creation of the subtle elements, and we are just now entering Sukshma Bhautika Srishti, creation of the subtle elementals. We use the word elementals. Combination of elements. Something formed from the elements is called elemental. Just a technical word, that's all. And so that first step here is Sambhutam, being created, all these Indriyani, Jnanendriyani. So even though he does not use the word Jnanendriyani here, the list of 5 sense organs are called Jnanendriyani. Which of course, when we studied Sukshma Shariram, we saw that Jnanendriyani was part of the Sukshma Shariram. Therefore, this also is the creation of the Sukshma Bhautikam. That's why you said this is Sukshma Bhautika Srishti. So, Shrotrendriyam onwards, from the sense of hearing all the way to the sense of smell, they are all created, he says. And from what it is created. So, each of the Panchabhutas, namely Akashaha, Vayuhu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi, those Panchabhutas, each of them have 3 attributes. 3 attributes, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. And he says, from the Sattva aspect of Akasha is formed or manifesting the sense of hearing. Sense of hearing here is the Sukshma aspect of the hearing, not the physical aspect, earlobe and eardrum and all that, but the Sukshma aspect, the subtle aspect which can't be seen. So likewise, he says, from the Sattvic aspect of Vayuhu, which also is subtle, we can imagine Vayu, the wind, but then the subtle aspect of wind, from that subtle Sattvika aspect of the subtle wind is created the sense of touch. And likewise, he lists from the subtle Sattvika aspect of Agni is created the sense of sight, Chakshu. Chakshu means, Chakshu little meaning is eyes. And here we should say eyesight. We should say eyesight. Because Chakshur Indriyam, he says, eyesight. Then from the Sattvic aspect of Apaha, waters, Jalam. So here uses a synonym for waters. He says Jala. Rasanendriyam Sambhutam, sense of taste is created, and from the sattvic aspect of Prithvi, minerals, are sometimes called earth. Then this sense of smell is manifesting, Sambhuta. This is listed when we saw that last time. Okay, so now, so we also saw, so why the Akasha is only producing a sense of hearing, why not some other senses, if we say? That is because the Akasha has only one quality, which is connected to the sense of sound, to sound. It doesn't have the ability to give me visibility. It doesn't have the ability to give me the ability to smell the Akasha, because Akasha does not have that attribute. Therefore, Akasha can only connect with sound. Shrotrendriyam. That is how we should look at it. Likewise, beautifully organized. Look at that. Akasha Vayuhu. Vayuhu can be heard and can be felt, but cannot be seen. Correct? And then Agnihi can be heard, Agnihi can be felt, and fire can of course be seen. So therefore, Agnihi Chakshu. First element that can be seen is Agnihi. First element that can be tasted or smelled, or tasted we should say, Rasanendriya, is water or liquids. And first element that can be smelled is Prithvi. No, none of the four elements have the attribute of giving us the ability to smell. They don't have the ability to give odor. That's the meaning here. So there is, this order is kind of important. So now, now he says, he suddenly is saying now, the Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani. So suddenly we are reminded of this Nirvana Shatkam. And so Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. So Sambhutani, created. What is created? Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. These four are created, and he is giving a name for these four. He is calling it as Antahkaranam. And so plural will become Antahkaranani. Antahkaranani. So Karanam, even the Jnanendriyas we discussed, all the sense organs, 5 sense organs, are also Karanani only. They are also instruments, because we use them. Anything that is used for my benefit will be called a Karanam, an instrument. So here also, so there we should say Bahya Karanani, because they are all in the exterior part of my body. I can even see those sense organs with my eyes. And so Bahya Karanani. Here he is calling them as Antah Karanani. So Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittam. And he is saying, so now what? Now let's give an example. So suppose there is a rose, a flower is given, is shown in front of you. Then you look at it and say, yeah, it's a rose. I can see it. Then you say, is it really a rose? I mean, is it a real rose? Because these days you can make anything and make it appear real. So then you see, then you say, yeah, it looks real. Then look is not enough. Then you can feel it. You can feel the petal. Then you say, yeah, this has to be real. Then you still have a doubt because that feeling also can be manufactured. And so you have a doubt. Then you say, okay, let me smell it. Rose should have proper smell. Then you smell it and say, okay, yeah, this is a rose. Then you may still not be sure. Because who says smell cannot be created? These days, all smells are available. Perfume is just everywhere, perfume. I am looking for a soap which does not have perfume and I've still not found one. I've tried dozens of varieties. I keep buying and throwing them away. So I'm still using one thing, and so one handcrafted soap from Mysore is coming. Kerala and Mysore too, I found out. So that's working out for me. So the smell, they're all over. Artificial smells are there. Then you can say, I'm going to pluck this petal and taste it. This is a risk. You're taking a huge risk now. And then you can taste it and say, yeah, this is rose. So look at that. So all these, the mind is behind, the mental faculties behind it, to make all these decisions, to think, to doubt. Everything is going on, and of course I must be there to do all this. So he's going to explain what this mano, buddhi, ahankara and all further. So the mind that keeps asking questions, is it really a rose? Manaha. Buddhi, yes, it's a rose. Then Manaha comes and says, are you sure it's a rose? And so then the buddhi has to act, has to do something, analyze. So all that is going on, Manaha, buddhi. And ahankara is always, of course, there. There is this person who is looking at it, who is analyzing it, who is deciding it, who is seeing the rose. I am seeing the rose. Okay, that I, whoever that I is ahankara. And chittam is also there. So he's going to explain what chittam is. Have you seen it before? Yes, I've seen it before. I know what a rose is. And I'm just confirming that this particular flower is a rose. So memory. Chittam here refers to memory. Memory. So all these faculties are operating. Really only one faculty, but we are trying to understand these various nuances of that one faculty. And we divide it. They're so important that we are saying there are four antakaranani. He is using plural for it. So 4 in 1, like a person playing 4 roles. So the person is playing the role of mother. Then immediately at 10 o'clock, she is in the school playing the role of a teacher. Then she is playing the role of a tenant. And then she is playing the role of a grandmother also, because she has grandchildren. So 4 roles are there, 4 in 1. Like those days, 2 in 1 when I was in college. And they said 2 in 1. 2 in 1? Yeah, 2 in 1. 2 in 1 means you can have radio and you can have this cassette player also. Both are there in one. Huge thing those days. Because I had a radio in my hostel room. And that was also a big one. Everybody doesn't have a radio. They have small transistor that they can listen to. And I had a big radio. At home, they were not listening to the radio. And so I just got it from home. And then 2 in 1. And then I went to my cousin's house and then I saw 2 in 1 with my own eyes. And he had all these audio cassettes and he was playing it. So here 4 in 1. 4 faculties in 1. Now, this mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittani, this manaha, let's call it mind. So it's coordinating all the 5 sense organs. So there can't be any conflict. It's monitoring what the eyes. It's taking in the data that is reported by the eyes, then reported by the nose, and everything it's combining and then it is saying, yeah, and then it is combining it with the memory it has, and then combining and then helping you make a decision. So the mind is coordinating all these things. And so that, remember earlier we said Sattvika aspect means thinking. Ability to analyze, ability to process data and make up decisions and make conclusions, etc. If necessary, make assumptions also. So therefore, this entire faculty also has to be Sattvika in nature, and therefore he's saying Samashti Sattvikamshat. What is Samashti here? Samashti means the combined Sattvika aspect of these five senses, these Panchabhutani, is creating this mind, buddhi, ahankara and memory. Sattvika aspect, because of the type of activity that is needed here. Okay. And we also saw earlier that we should recall here that what is it that distinguishes the human being from the animals? So we can't say walking on two legs and all that. That's very superficial. Even though that might be a difference, we are saying even sense organs we can't say, because sense organs, if you say, animals are better off than human beings. The bats do wonders, and the shark is able to sense 1 ppm of blood in the water. And like this, these dogs are there, sleuth dogs, and dogs are now there in airports. So where is the question of me claiming something great about the sense organs? We just have enough ability to transact with the world. Whatever is enough is given to us, and we can use it. So the mind, mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta. This is what is the most significant. We saw that. So again, Sattvika. This is what gives us the ability to do things that are very different from animals, able to question our actions, and so on and so forth. We saw dharma earlier. And so, Samashti Sattvikamshat Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chitta Antakaranani Sambhutani. Now he is going to talk about little more detail about what these Antakaranani are, so we can chant that. So I think that must be 2.6, I think.
2.6, yes.
So we will read 2.6 to 2.9. So go ahead, Prasad. Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha
Vikalpatmakam Manaha
Nischayatmika
Nischayatmika
Buddhihi
Buddhihi
Ahankarta
Ahamkarta
Ahankritihi
Ahamkritihi
or
Ahankaraha
Chintanakartru
Chintanakartru
Chittam.
Chittam.
Yeah. So two Patha Veda is there. Ahankarta, sometimes you see Ahankritihi, sometimes you see Ahankaraha. So both are identical in meaning. So before I go there, let me give you the translation of the previous verse, 2.5. So from the total Sattvika aspect, of the five elements, Panchabhutani, from the total sattvika aspect of the 5 elements are born the mind, intellect, ahankaraha. I'm not translating it purposely because many translations say ego. And because that word ego has connotations, because if we say ego, so he has an ego. They say that also. He has a lot of ego and all that. So this ego doesn't talk about that kind of a exaggerated sense of I, right? I did it, you know who I am, and this kind of exaggerated sense of I is not what this ahankara talks about. Even though that also is a ahankara, but we are talking basic ahankara and identity. Who did this? I did this. Okay, who's going to come to class? Who are all going to come to class? I'm going to come. So everybody has that identity, ahankara. So that ahankara we are talking about here. Therefore, I'm just using the word ahankara here, not translating it as anything else. Okay. The mind, the intellect, ahankaraha, and memory, kama, collectively called the inner instruments. Collectively called the inner instruments. Okay. So, back to the example of the rose. Rose is there. So, is this, you look at a rose and it's very obviously a rose. But then, it's a rose. Okay. Then suddenly, is this a rose? Vikalpaha. That's called vikalpa. Vikalpa means doubt. So here he is using the word vikalpa. Doubt. Is this a rose? Yes, it's a rose. Sankalpaha. Sankalpaha means you're making a proposition. Sankalpa is a proposition. It's a desire, a wish, statement of a wish. It's an assertion. So sankalpaha. Is this rose real? So is this rose real? So the mind. So the vikalpa. I think so. Sankalpa. Are you sure? Vikalpa. Yes. I tested a lot of things. Yeah, it is a rose. Real rose. It's a real rose. So sankalpa. So like this constant vikalpa, sankalpa, vikalpa, sankalpa. So sometimes it happens. So mom, did you lock the car? Car door. Lock the car means door of the car. So yeah, I locked the door. Locked the door. Are you sure? I didn't see you locking it. Oh yeah, I don't know. Vikalpa. Let me check. So mother goes, checks it out. She comes back. So the son asks, so is it locked? Yes, it's locked. Did you check? I think I checked. So doubt again. Doubt whether I checked also. I forgot. I think I checked. What, mom? I thought you went just now. Yeah, I think I checked. Yeah, I checked. So this doubt, constant doubt and clarification and doubt and clarification. Because the mind is not there in what we do. Because mother is looking at the phone and going to the car, did something and come back. So she can't even remember if she went to the car or not. So therefore vikalpa, I didn't know if I checked. I didn't know if I locked. I didn't know where I kept my keys. It's all involuntarily, all these actions are happening. So fortunately, most of the time these actions are correct. So that happens. And even in this class, it will happen. So get up in the morning, to India, morning time, and class is at 6:30. So, one has to get up before that time. So, should I attend the class or not? Vikalpa. Yeah, I must attend the class. The last classes I've been following and I must attend. But you didn't sleep. You slept at 1 o'clock last night. You had only 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep. Yeah, this is true. This is true. I didn't sleep well at all. But no, I want to attend because I want to maintain the continuity. But what happens if you doze off in class? Yeah, this is true. So I might doze off also. And yeah, Jayakumarji is watching and, he may point out also, he may ask what happened, are you okay and all. So that can be a problem. So then no. I think no. The last few classes I didn't doze. I wasn't dozing. So I think I can manage. It's interesting. So I'll manage. So sankalpa, vikalpa, constantly happens. Some people are very good at getting up in the morning, and some people the lifelong problem it is. So sankalpa, day starts with a conflict. Kada. So sankalpa vikalpatmika atmakam manah. And then we can bring in other things also. We can bring in all perception, basic perception, inference. So those things can all be brought in here. Emotions. So wherever there is a vritti, emotion vritti, I feel sad, I feel happy, I am frustrated. All these things are there. All those vrittis are all mana. Then he is talking about buddhi. Buddhi, he says, nischayatmika buddhi. Nischayatmika buddhi. So finally, I decided to get up and say, no, enough is enough. I'm going to attend the class. So, nischayatmika buddhi. Yes, this is a rose confirmed. Nischayatmika buddhi. And so, any time when there is clarity, when there is certainty, when there is resolution of conflict, and when there is decision being made, should we go to the temple or not? Tomorrow being Sunday. Yes, we are all going to the temple. Let's all leave at so-and-so time. Final, all family, everybody agreed, decided. Nischayatmika buddhi. So anytime there is a deliberate inquiry. So like, attending these classes, it requires a lot of will to say, I am going to start attending, I am going to resume, and I am going to continue. All this buddhi, aspect of buddhi, where some decision has been made. And other decisions, the decisions, our children, if you look at them, look at how many decisions they have to make. And 10th class, 11th class, 12th class, and then NEET exam, and this exam, and that exam. And these fellows constantly change the rules all the time, and the states don't agree with the center, and this creates just a lot of turmoil in the family, unnecessary turmoil. So constantly decisions have to be made and followed through. And college admissions, of course, oh my God, how many decisions, you all know that. So decisions, so buddhi, nischayatmika buddhi, because at some point you have to put a full stop and say enough is enough. So we will go with whatever we get. So nischayatmika buddhi. Analysis, all the entire area of analysis, logic-based reasoning, everything, nischayatmika buddhi. Then ahankara. Ahankara. So who moved this chair? I kept it there in the other room. Now it's come here. I did it. Ahankara. I did it. So there is somebody who knows, who has an identity and who responds. Ahankara. And nobody says, my hands moved the chair from this room to that room. My hands and legs and my body. Nobody gives an answer like that. this is a great recipe. Who created this recipe? My mind created the recipe. I don't hear anybody saying that. My mind created the recipe. Yeah, I'm experimenting with my telephone, and so if somebody tries to call me, then okay. So the recipe, even though the mind was active, nobody says mind did it. I did it. He did it. So nobody says, what happened to you? Oh, my mind is upset. So nobody says that. I am upset. I am frustrated. I am disappointed. I'm happy that all these things worked out. But it's all I only. So that I, ahankarta. Ahankarta means what? Aham karta. Karta means doer. Karta in Hindi also, I think they must have the word karta.
Yeah.
So karta. So I am the doer. That sense, the sense that I am the doer, that crystal clear sense is there. There is no doubt, not only doubt in me, doubt in others also is not there. That kind of clarity is there. Ahankarta. So it gives a self-identity to the person. That identity must be there in each of us. And that's why when we wake up, that identity comes up. First thing that happens is ahankara, that thought arises. It is still a thought only. Ahankara is still a thought only. After all this, it's still a thought. But it is the seminal thought, it's a thought that is there all the time. It is a thought over which all other thoughts are existing. That's why when when a person wakes up, immediately we are clear about who we are. There's no doubt. If a person gets up and asks the question, who am I? Then we have to start worrying about that person. Correct? Who am I? Where am I? These questions, if you ask, then the person, we have to worry about that person. The self-identity is gone, not coming. That thought is not coming. And so, or that person could be a Vedanta student also. It's possible. Who am I? Where am I? How did I get this identity? Did I have the identity a few hours back or no? So, okay, that's fine. That's good. But if I victimize other people starting from the morning when I get up, then this is not Vedanta. Then we have a problem again. Vedanta is not meant for victimizing other people. We have to just keep it with ourselves. That's all. So, this faculty that owns up everything else. So many thoughts, so many decisions, everything has been made, so many thoughts have happened. Hey, who is this? Who started all this? I started all this. Okay, good. So I accept I. That I is ahankara. That's why it's a special thing because it owns up everything and it gives that self-identity to the person. Ahankara. Because all thoughts are variable, coming and going. This ahankara thought remains. Until deep sleep, it remains. Okay. Now, Chittam is next. So we said memory. So past experiences. There is all stored in the same faculty, this mind, which is amazing. It's able to store years and years of data. And that ability is called Chittam, memory, which can produce other things. Intuition may be brought into it. The unconscious can be brought into it. Because the unconscious is there, which means what? That of which I am not conscious of, but that which has an influence in my behavior. Suddenly got angry for no reason. And so we say unconscious. And all that, this we can put under Chittam. Chittam. Also in Sanskrit, another word called Anusandhanam. Anusandhanam they will use. And that refers to this Chittam. So Chittam here is Chitta, not the consciousness Chittam. Satchidananda Chittam is not, that's not the word here. Here Chittam refers to memory. Okay. So Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha. So let me translate this now. Decision followed by doubt is the nature of the mind. Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha. Decision followed by doubt is the nature of the mind. Nischayatmika Buddhihi. Resolved ascertainment is the nature of the intellect. Resolved ascertainment is the nature of the intellect. Within brackets, the sense, brackets close, that I am the doer, within quotation mark, I am the doer, is ahankaraha. The sense I am the doer is ahankaraha. Chittam is the thinking process. Chittam is the thinking process in keeping with what has gone before. In keeping with what has gone before. So within brackets you can say recollection of memory. Recollection of memory. Chittam is the thinking process in keeping with what has gone before, or recollection of memory. Okay. So now let's chant the next one. So anybody who would like to, who has not had a chance. Yeah, Swapna, go ahead. Unmute yourself. So he's going to now talk about devatas of each of these inner instruments. Manaso devata chandramaha.
Manaso devata chandramaha.
Buddher brahma.
Buddher brahma.
Ahankarasya rudraha.
Ahankarasya rudraha.
Chittasya vasudevaha.
Chittasya vasudevaha.
Good. So now devata. So we reviewed the understanding of devata before. And when we recognize the order in this world, then all the order associated with one particular aspect, we called as devata. That intelligent order associated with any particular aspect or phenomenon is called devata. We saw that before. And we used several words for it in English. So we said collection of functions. So if we say hearing, so collection of all signs, all functions that the science has discovered and the science has yet to discover, and of the human ear hearing, of the animal hearing, of wherever there is hearing aspect, that order, collection of functions. Then we said functionary. Then we use the word presiding deity, correct? We use the word collective. And we can use the word archetype. So there are some words. In English, archetype is a word, we need to look into it. And because we can't use words that have some common meanings. We have to use words which reveal what Devata really is. Sometimes best to use the word Devata, but just other words, just trying to understand what Devata is. So Devata is, we say, the presiding deity of a particular aspect. So Dhanvantari, presiding deity of well-being, health, mental and physical well-being. Dhanvantari. Okay, like that. So he's going to all this just a recollection. Chittam. We are all recollecting what we studied. So we used our Chittam. So he's now saying what? Manaso Devata Chandramaha. So just a little Sanskrit here. Devata is singular. Chandramaha is also singular, even though it appears like plural. Okay, appears like plural. Chandraha is singular, and whose plural is Chandraha. Chandraha. Okay, but then here Chandramas, Chandramaha. When you put ma, the Chandramaha becomes singular. So then Chandramaha. Then I think Chandramasau, and then Chandramasaha. So his plural is Chandramasaha. So it's a little bit unique there. So Chandramaha singular, Devata singular, and Manasaha, of course, of the mind. So Shashti, sixth case. So Devata of the mind is Chandramaha, is moon. Moon, when we say what should I imagine when I say moon? So moon is, see, in our tradition, we have a highly well-developed system of astrology, very closely related. And what the British have done is, they have quietly, whatever they couldn't understand, they called it astrology, and all the physical aspects of it, they called it astronomy. And so we never divided the two like that. So we have a highly well-developed science, and very uncanny. It looks at the positions of the planets and then connects it with the behavior of the human being. It's a microcosm, macrocosm model. It's a very amazing model. Somebody, those who are very good at this astrology, if you want to call it, Jyotisham, better word, Jyotisham. In fact, the word zodiac comes from the word Jyotisham. Think about it. Jyotisham, zodiac. Okay. So that model is being invoked here, at least for Manas. And he says, the Devata of this mind is the Chandramaha, whose symbol is the physical moon. The symbol of the Chandrama Devata is the moon. If you want a symbol, then he says, yeah, that symbol, this moon is the symbol of that. And the science behind all that is the Devata, Chandra Devata. And so in that when you give your horoscope, all you have to do is give your date of birth and your place of birth and time of birth. That is enough. Your whole life can be mapped, where people will map your entire life. Isn't it so amazing? It's either amazing or it's scary also. Because I was not comfortable knowing about my future. I was not comfortable before. And I never went to all these people. Still, I have not gone. And because knowing about, suppose they tell you, oh, you are going to die in 5 years. So I don't know. Why should I know all these things? I don't want to know all this. Let me just enjoy the moment right now and then keep moving on. This is my idea. But there is a beauty also, because They will tell you what problems you can have, and then what you can do to neutralize those problems. They will never, the problems won't disappear, but you can do certain things to minimize the impact of those problems. So shock absorber, like, so you can prepare yourself. That's how this whole science is being used by people. And of course, it can be taken to an extreme also, and which also we don't need. So here they will look at the position of the moon in this horoscope and then tell you and infer the strength of the mind, mentally, how this person is, mentally. And they will say things which will just amaze you. They'll just amaze you. They will say, you're not good at making decisions. And then you say, yeah, correct. I'm always vacillating. Some people are very good at making decisions. Do A, B, C, and then, okay, stop, and this is what we will do. And this person keeps on deciding till the last 11th hour. And so, just looking at the horoscope, they're able to say all this. And so, then they will say, you worship the moon. You worship the moon. And some mantras for the moon and all are there. And Navagraha Stotra, there is a mantra for the moon also. So then Monday, look at that. Monday also, we need to look at all this. Moon day, it's actually moon day. Moon day has become Monday. Soma Vasaraha, Somvar. So Soma, moon. And so then they will say, wear a silver ring with a moonstone on it. Correct? They say gemology and this and that. They have a lot of, there's a big science around all these things. Some of you may not believe in it. Some of you may believe in it. But the science is there. The science is there. Even I have benefited from it once. Because somebody took me to a person, because there was some confusion in my life. And so I also said, let's go. And this guy asked me to do that. He asked me to wear a silver ring with a moonstone on it. And now you go to the jewelry store, this fellow understands all these things. That's a beauty. Because people have come to him asking for all these questions. And the beauty is, you go there and you go there, oh, how am I going to express all this? This fellow knows everything. You don't have to, you just have to tell one word, silver ring, and then he will automatically bring the moonstone also. Do you want moonstone also, sir? And my God, it looks like these two people have been talking to each other. I'm going to send you this. Jacob is going to come to your place. So it's so amazing. It's just amazing. And then I found some benefit from that. And so I have a lot of respect for that. Don't know the science, but I respect all these things. And so you look at that, and they say, I don't know how this works. They say if the mind is not proper, we use the word lunatic. Lunatic. Hey, how did this word luna come? How? Somebody should research into this and find out where does word luna come for this lunatic. And what is the connection? Lunar connection is there here. So we need to, I'm interested in finding out more about that. Okay. So this moon, Manasaha Devata Chandrama. So we take it very seriously in our culture, all these things. And then Buddhehe Brahma. Buddhehe. So, okay, it's 7:32 now. All right. Buddhehe Brahma, Ahankarasya Rudraha, Chittasya Vasudeva. So we will continue that in the next class. These things are all, there's a lot of science behind all this, a lot of things to know. And those who are educated in astrology and all will start giving big lectures on all these things. So days and days can happen in just these 5-4 sentences. And so, but we are not going to delve like that. So we will conclude the class now. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ